Hoy there, it's Skyward Shield. Welcome to Football Talks. I am joined by Bill. Say hello, Bill.
Oh my god, hello!
We have 2 weeks of regular season football left. We're now week 16. The playoff spots are all but locking up. I think at least 3 teams this week secured a playoff spot. Those teams were the Patriots, the Bengals. I want to say they just had to win one game.
Yep, yep,
And
they did.
no, actually, no. It was four. No, it was 4 teams: the Patriots, the Bengals, the Packers, and the Seahawks.
Yep. And
But,
they
but
all they all took care of business, which for one of them I was hoping wouldn't happen, but you
yeah,
know,
I was hoping for two, but I just want drama in the AFC North. But actually, it's fine. I don't know, but anyway,
oh
Bill.
man.
So, with that said, we can start. Let's talk about a team that is no longer in the chance of being in playoff contention. One eliminated. Well, really, we all knew they were eliminated the moment Romo went down again. The Cowboys lost Matt Castle, but before that happened, he went out in the most humiliating way. A, a intentional grounding interception. I don't
Oh
think I've ever seen that. If you were on the Cleveland Browns, I'm just saying, the fans would not have been phased. Like this is a Browns only experience. No,
it's
the
it's an experience, all right, but
yeah.
intentional grounding interception. I don't think I've ever seen
The
that
only
or
way it'd be
heard about
worse,
one of.
it could be complete Browns move if it was like at the end of the game where they had a chance to score and you win.
Yeah,
That would have been
yeah.
the most bad then. But it doesn't matter. Dallas challenged the inner Browns and got knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys played one of their worst games of the season when they were fighting for their playoff lives. They came out and just played a clunker against the Jets.
It's crazy how when they struggled against the Washington, to beat the Washington football team, it worked. But it's like they just lost that fight the moment they played the Packers.
Yep,
But
the Packers laid a beating on them, and then the
they just don't want to get up.
it just yeah, it was a hangover effect. They were in position to make a run, and then the Packers came to town, and
Uh,
it
well,
cast one of those dark clouds over
if
the
you want to
team.
get technical, they went to the Packers town. But yeah, it honestly it didn't matter where it would be. Jerry World, which honestly it's not even their home place anymore.
Right.
It's not even a home stadium. Remember the first week last year? It was when we all buried Dallas. It's ironic. We should just never put hope in the Cowboys. Like you have that Lions effect going again right now, where he's like,
Yep.
I'm gonna pick against them. In fact, fans just don't ever show up to their games because they're a better team when no one believes in them. In fact, even if they just keep not believing, so that way they win all their games or most of their games and go to the playoffs, go to the Super Bowl. In fact, just keep picking against them and
Exactly.
only be happy. I mean, sure, they're gonna say you're a bandwagonist, but fine. You know what? Deep inside, you know what you
You
had to
know
do.
better.
You,
You know better,
you,
though. I
you
mean,
had to play the villain. You had to play the villain for the hero to rise.
exactly. The devil's advocate.
Yeah,
You have to point out all the flaws.
be the
So that way the
anti-hero.
team so that way the team doesn't exhibit any of those flaws and they actually play well.
Yeah.
Oh
Meanwhile,
man.
let's be fair. The Jets were playing horrible. I mean, Fitzpatrick was being Fitzpatrick for 3 quarters. And then the fourth
Yeah.
quarter did wonderful. He actually remembered, oh, wait, I have Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker on my team. I should give the ball to them more. And what
Yeah.
happened? They win. Randy Bullock, the former Texan, gets the game-winning field goal.
And he's still a terrible kicker.
He is still one.
As is evidenced by the fact that he missed an extra point, which allowed Dallas to even tie that game. You know,
Yep.
it would have been a whole different.
I
It
think he
would have
missed
been
a
a.
field goal too. He's not getting a
I,
re-sign. Remember, their great kicker is out for the year. As soon
yeah,
as he comes back, he's cut.
yeah. He's not a good kicker, and he really. I mean, there's even better options out there anyway right now. I mean, he's just you look at the volume of work. He put in that volume of work, and he's just not an NFL kicker. I'm sorry,
All right.
but overall, the thing I want to get to is the disappearance of Dez Bryant in the
You
offense.
know,
What
oh,
happened to Dez? Where is Dez?
mi-
Hashtag save Dez.
missing in action. Report any tips to the Dallas police. He
I
must be
mean,
found. But I'm gonna bring this up in a later game. We're gonna talk about the Houston game to make a comparison. So I won't speak anything on Dez now. Just be sure to remind me later, Bill. But honestly, the only bright spot is McFadden.
yep.
But it's
Run
fine.
DMC.
It's fine because in Philadelphia with Chip Kelly losing his job, which I really want to mention that too later. Just DeMarco Murray. People say Dallas. It's because they don't have DeMarco Murray. It's because they don't have DeMarco Murray in their team again anymore. Well, yeah. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, do you know how many snaps he had in the whole game against the Cardinals? Three.
No idea.
3 snaps. He only
That's
played
crazy.
3 snaps.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. The reigning offensive MVP of the year, gone. Just, he disappeared. I'm telling you, that line made him better. And that's the case for McFadden. Because McFadden got hurt because his line when the Raiders were terrible. It's just, that was the good chunk of the reason why. I
mean,
honestly believe if you plug any decent running back in there, they will play like a great running back. So
that very possibly could be true.
like
I mean, I didn't expect Darren McFadden to have the season.
I had
he's
it all
having.
on Lance Dunbar, but he was out for the season. He tore his ACL, which you can't predict that, and you don't want to predict that. Which, yeah, I'm gonna shame the football gods this week because they just took another great player out. And he was actually
Oh
going to
yeah.
be my defensive MVP because Watt, I can't see him taking it anymore. But anyway, but
Right.
I'll mention that when we get to that point. But
Right.
yeah, so let's mention the Jets' playoff hopes before we move on. They have to win out, but they need the Chiefs to drop a game or the Steelers to drop a game. In fact, actually, this week is crucial. If the no, it is crucial. If the Jets drop to the Patriots or the Bills, they're done. Because look
Yep.
what the Chiefs' schedule is: home to Browns, home to Raiders. Easily win with both of those.
Yep.
And
And,
on the
they're both at home. I mean,
You don't want to
it's
play at
the
Arrowhead.
it's the perfect way to end your season. If you got 2 home games,
Or
and
even
you're-
the last one at home. Like Houston.
even the last.
Like Houston has a lot of road games right now. Has had a lot of road games lately. Look, you had the Patriots, then you had to go at Buffalo, as an
Yep.
example. So you see what I mean? But at least they have the final game against Jacksonville on here, which I don't think will happen on Sunday Night Football because Jacksonville dropped it. But it was okay. They're gonna find a way to make the Giants and Eagles be on there, even though it doesn't matter.
I mean, really, the NFL, the NFL was anticipating what could possibly be the final week matchup that would send the team to the
Wouldn't
to
it?
the
What?
to the division title.
Yeah. Though, okay, I'll put it this way. I think we all agree who's going in the playoffs. We all have the same teams, just in little different mix-ups, right?
Right.
But sometimes I agree. I sometimes think they just know how these seasons turn out. Sometimes they don't because, well, how do I put it? Remember last year was Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. We all thought Cincinnati was going to drop, but they always pull off a playoff move and just fail the first
Oh,
game to an AFC South team. It's their destiny,
yep.
which they're. I can't wait for Bengals Steelers in the playoffs, but in this case, it's very likely going to be Eagles New York. Even if like Washington beats Philly, which if they beat Philly, they clinch a playoff spot. I'm pretty sure. Like I think if they win the game and the Giants lose to the Vikings, which especially if Odell Beckham, who I'm going to talk about and just laugh at a little bit, doesn't get a chance to play, there's no way the Giants will beat the Vikings. No.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, I think we can move on. We're gonna
Yep.
let's go to Sunday games because Saturday games are fun. I wish we had more, but the last one I'm looking forward to that one. Oh, just because it's just ugh.
Ugh. Ugh.
Seriously, have you noticed those Saturday games? 3/4 of the teams. Actually, if you want to get technical, all teams were East Division teams. 3 of them NFC, 1 AFC. If it was Giants at Dallas for that week, you have the whole NFC East on Saturday. It might have been better that way, so no one can watch the shame. Watch real football like college football or something. But anyway, let's move on to a team who always comes through. Well, 95% of the time they come through, and this was definitely 95%. The Patriots punish the Titans for existing because they are the least talented team. Mariota left the game, so theoretically, if he doesn't play this week, the Texans would have just dodged possibly a bullet. You think they would have? I would think they would have dodged a bullet in your eyes because they did not have to play Mariota at all this year.
Yep.
They would.
I mean, Mariota is he's gonna be a great quarterback. I think
to me,
he's,
I think what's limiting him is not himself, or not even his coaches, his players. Name me another juggernaut player that on offense that will help him, aside from Delaney Walker. And keep in mind, he's getting old too.
I'm not going to. There's really no one on offense that he can throw it
Can
to
you name
that
me
is
anyone on
big.
defense that could, turn things around?
The defense, I have no idea who.
I
they
mean,
have on
you could say the
defense.
Ravens are the least talented of the 49ers, but do you know how many players they've lost to injuries? You gotta be fair.
A lot. And the 49ers lost a lot of players just because they retired because Harbaugh left.
Good. Fucking stick it to the 49ers organization. I don't like the team, but they're like, fine. The players are smart. Stick it to them and make them regret it. Who's got it better than us? But
the Tennessee Titans, they found out what a very angry, devastating team the Patriots could be. And remember, going into that game, they didn't know if Tom Brady was even going to play because of his illness.
it might have been
Obviously,
closer because with what's his name?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he could have got some experience, but honestly, I think even then they could have beat him. This was essentially a varsity football team playing a junior high team.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the defending champions just put the Titans out of their misery in the first half.
Good.
This is the defending Super Bowl champions. This is the defending champions. This could be a multi-year defending champion.
They would repeat. Wait, have they repeated the Super Bowl wins? I know there's been.
They have.
They have? Okay. Who were the other ones? I know Green
Yep.
Bay was one. There was one more.
Green Bay in the early time. The Pittsburgh Steelers have. The San Francisco 49ers.
That was
have.
with what's his name? The guy who
Dallas
does a lot of those shingles ads.
The Dallas Cowboys have, and the Denver Broncos have.
I'm guessing that was when they had John Elway. I think that was actually.
Yep, the last 2 years of John Elway's career, they won the Super Bowl.
Well, what a way to go out! And that might very well happen for the Patriots at this rate. But they still keep getting hit with injury bug. I don't know if I read it before I went to go see The Force Awakens, because I saw The Force Awakens on Sunday, which I'm not talking about it, of course. Don't spoil anything,
Yeah.
because it's never a good idea. I will punch anyone who spoils it. Seriously. But anyway, um, I was sleeping before to get some rest and just before I left because I did not sleep since who knows how long. I have a messed up sleep schedule. But I could swear in my dreams, but to be fair, I had the TV on. Maybe the audio from the TV invaded my dreams, and I heard Amendola and Hightower got hurt, and now I found out that Patrick Chung also got hurt. They are hit with the injury bug just as much as everybody else, but they've clinched a first-round bye now. And if they can win,
Yep.
I think they just need to win one more game, and the Bengals and Broncos. Well, the Bengals have to drop one. The Broncos have already done that.
Yeah, really, all they need is the Bengals to drop a game, and they clinch home field throughout the AFC playoffs. And really, it doesn't matter about home field at the Super Bowl because being the home team at the Super Bowl really doesn't matter. You're both the away team.
Actually, it
But
doesn't matter who wins this one. If the Jets or if the Patriots beat the Jets or the Dolphins, from what I'm seeing, even if for this next game, because we all know this final Monday night game is crucial to determine which of these two teams, the Bengals and Broncos, which we'll get to the picks, will get a first round bye with the Patriots.
oh man,
So, but I think the Broncos have, if they win one more game, they'll clinch their division. If they drop them all, then it goes to the Chiefs, which I don't want the Chiefs to win the division. I wanted them to just to spite the like what you do to pull a spite move on Brock Osweiler, but no. Do you know who would go to Houston against them in the playoffs? Look who's next on the list.
good old Denver Broncos.
No, they wouldn't, because the other team that beat them this week has the upper hand.
Who does?
Pittsburgh. I do not want to play Pittsburgh. In fact, I want to be honest, Bill. If it's not the Patriots that go to the Super Bowl, it's Pittsburgh. I doubted them without Le'Veon Bell, and I think they'll be fine. I think they can do it. If it's not the Patriots, it's them. They're my backup.
Oh jeez,
Ugh.
yeah.
I mean, come on. You put up, let's see, how many points? Over 30? 34 points
Yeah.
on the best defense in the league?
Yeah.
My God. I can't, Bill, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're getting off topic. Patriots won. The Titans suck. What else is new? I would really love if Mettenberger started for the Titans this week. Just so Watt can humiliate him, put the clown. Well, not even Watt. Let have Clowney put the clown suit on him. Ha, Clowney clown
Oh
suit.
man,
But
Clowney.
anyway,
Oh.
speaking of Houston, history has been made. The Texans won in Indy. But
No.
not with TJ Yates. He's out for the year with a torn ACL. Unfortunate. But they won with Brandon Whedon.
Oh jeez.
What a week.
The Brandon Whedon project has awoken.
Now he's going to be signed for like 3 more years by other teams. Phenomenal. He put 16 unanswered points on the board, and that was enough because the defense for Houston woke up and just sent the Colts packing. The Texans are in the driver's seats. And what's their schedule right now, Bill? Who do they play next, and who do they play in Week 17? We've mentioned it twice. You gotta know.
Oh, I know that Houston gets Tennessee, and then they get Jacksonville.
That's right. At Tennessee, possibly against Zach Mettenberger. We know how that'll
Oh,
go.
my.
And if here's the thing. The Jaguars are not mathematically eliminated, but they have to win out, and they would actually need, I think they would need...
Bunch of losses.
No, they would need both the Colts and Houston to lose another game. Houston would have to drop both their games, because I have the playoff predictor. Yep. Houston would have to drop both games, and the Colts would have to lose one more for Jacksonville to take it.
Yep.
So,
It,
but I don't trust Jacksonville, Bill. You can't trust them. You can trust Blake Bortles, but you can't trust the team around him.
maybe next year. Next year they're an interesting team to watch.
They're
but
honestly a
this
good
year,
defense away from being a good team. A playoff team, I
Yeah,
mean.
they're building. They're on the rise. They're definitely on the
They
rise.
are, and that's what
But
worries me.
uh, the interesting thing though about the Texans game against Indy though was how bad Matt Hasselbeck looks at quarterback, and how bad that Colts defense is, and just how crumbly that team is put together.
Bury them.
That
They
team
are
is
boring to watch.
that team is put together wrong.
Can I
That
just
team has no defense.
can I just stop hearing people say, "Oh, Frank Gore's gonna bust out this week"? It don't matter. He doesn't matter. He's too old. I think he's well past his peak. He was well past
Oh
his
yeah,
peak.
he's
It's just ironic. I loved how Frank Gore and Andre Johnson said, "We're gonna go to a winning team where you can get a Super Bowl," and you're likely out if Houston wins these next two games, or if you lose one more.
and here's the other issue is that Houston, Indy is signing veteran players, and that's fine. But if your running back is past his prime and your wide receiver is
You know,
not,
oh,
he's definitely lost the step.
Ty or Andre
it's
Johnson?
Time to cut. Andre Johnson.
Oh,
Ty
okay.
is just
Because
getting
Ty is
into
still
his
good. He's just better when luck. It's like with Dez, which I'm gonna mention Dez in a minute. But like with Dez, he's just not, the playmaker, because different quarterbacks have different preferences.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
for example, Hoyer likes targeting Ryan Griffin when he's on the field. That's why Hopkins only had like 3 catches against the Patriots. Shame, but
Yep.
anyway, continue with what you were saying.
Really, the Indianapolis Colts. They're just
With a smile on my face,
old.
Bill. These are
They're
my
old.
Packers that I have to deal with every year.
And their team. I don't know if it's gonna even be fixed next year. Here's the issue: is that their defense is still not good, and they have a bunch of old players making too much money.
That's like you're saying, the free agents on the offensive side. That's not the problem. The fact that their defense is not getting any help, and look what they need. They're according to the Colts, and they're like not just their not just their beat writers and all, but also scouts. Apparently, on their prioritized list, offensive lineman, running back, any defensive player. What's the only one I hear them mention? A defensive tackle. That's it. Those are the 3 biggest needs. A lineman, which is fair. They need help on some offensive parts. But that's not even the core issue. Their defense cannot. They could stop Brandon Weeden, granted. You were not preparing for him. That's fair. But you got a guy who has not even prepared himself and put 16 points on you. That's not a lot of points, but hey, he got a touchdown on you and a few field goals.
You have a problem if Jacksonville scores 51 points on you. You have a problem on defense. Jacksonville is not even that good offensively this year. They're building. They're not an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah,
yet.
this is not what they do on average. Like they're not. They're like a Pittsburgh Steelers in the making.
They have the Pittsburgh Steelers in the making. They have a good big quarterback in Bortles. They have 2 great running wide receivers in Robinson and Allen Hurns. And they got a good young running back in TJ Yeldon. They're on the rise, but they're not there yet. And when they put 51 on you, there's an issue on defense. They need everything.
Let's be fair. If any team puts 51 on you, except for Pittsburgh, well, yes, even Pittsburgh, if they put 51 on you, something's going on. I mean, that's what happened to the Texans against the Dolphins, but after the bye week, they shaped up.
I mean, the Colts defense is pathetic. Guess which team has the best defense in that division?
Houston.
The Houston Texans by a long shot.
Well, they actually have one of the best defenses in the AFC. Give them that,
then
too.
it goes the Jaguars, then the Titans, and then the Colts.
I can't believe I can't believe they've fallen below the Titans. That's shame. Shame by me. I shame you, Indy. The only other
I mean,
team I think
literally.
that's about as bad as them is the Saints, 31st ranked. Shame.
Exactly.
Which we'll talk the Saints
There.
later, Bill. But okay, let me get the point I want to get out of here right now. The mention
Okay.
of Dez. It's like
Yep.
I see a tale of two different wide receivers in Texas. Actually, I see a
Yeah.
tale of similar situations, but the two teams in Texas handled it differently. Because
Oh.
Houston's had both of them have now had four quarterbacks. Dallas
Yeah.
has had Romo, Whedon, Castle, and now I think his name's Moore. I forget.
Yes. Matt Moore.
I don't think it's Matt. I think it's Lance Moore. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, you had four there, and on Houston's side you have Hoyer. You've had Hoyer, Mallet, who's now cut, Whedon, and T.J. Yates, and now you had to sign a fifth one. Obviously, same with Dallas, I bet.
Yeah.
So both teams have had four quarterbacks. They've lost some of their better running backs, or who they thought they were. Dallas cut Randall and Dunbar's out for the season. Houston lost Foster. So what happened to the wide receivers? Dez, granted he got hurt. Let's be fair, he got hurt for half the season. But even when he came
Yep.
back, he is clearly unmotivated, not hungry for the win. And I've told you, he's had some games, especially that Buccaneers game, which I will never let go. I know he could have caught that thing. He did not reach his arms. He saw that fucking ball. He did not try. He could have been the hero,
Yep.
but he became the zero. But everyone forgot
I
about it.
mean,
But now let me shift it to the other side. What has Hopkins been doing? Granted, this was not even his best game either, but he made some spectacular catches all the same.
oh yeah.
Hopkins is
See,
my MVP, offensive MVP of the year, but I know Antonio Brown or Adrian Peterson's gonna get it. But I'm like, please give this guy an award. He needs the recognition.
the main issue with Dez that I see is that he got paid, and now he doesn't care.
Yeah, I I
He
don't even think it's Hopkins' contract year, but he's playing like it's his contract year. I love it.
exactly. Dez got paid, and now
Are,
and now the team around him is not good, so he's not
Can I
trying.
be honest? I think all those big players, him, Demarius Thomas, and Justin Houston, have not played as well. Demarius Thomas has dropped a lot of balls, not just against
Yep.
with Peyton, but also with Brock Osweiler. It's like, okay, if two quarterbacks can't do this to help you,
We can
you can say it's the wide receiver and not them. I know you don't like Brock
and we can
Osweiler, but I don't think you can blame him if both quarterbacks can't help him catch more balls.
and here's one more player in the old
Oh, I
in
know
the
who you're bringing up.
in the
AFC.
way too overpaid and not performing to their contract. Ndamukong Suh.
You had to get your Dodicon suit shot. Oh, it's amazing.
Ndamukong Suh. Oh, again, I like to go back to before the season and the Miami defense is going to be so great. They're so great at not making the playoffs.
It's sad because Cameron Wake was actually carrying that defense on his back, and when it's gone, it's just it fell. It stopped moving.
Yep.
No one went back underneath to pick it up again.
The Ndamukong Suh was a overrated free agent pickup that did nothing but make the Dolphins an 8-8
Who's
team
been
again.
worse though, Dez or Sue? On Dez's defense, he was hurt for half the season. That's all I got
Who's
on
been
him though.
worse? Who's been worse?
After they got paid, I'm gonna go Sue, but because I gotta be fair to Dez, I can't be too
Suh.
harsh.
Yeah, I would say Suh because he's supposed to be this game-changing difference maker, and he's barely put up a whimper in his starts as a Dolphin. Whereas Dez actually won them a game, already one game this year. So I mean that's if you were to look at probably the offensive and defensive metrics, Sue is probably a negative defensive metric, whereas I still think Dez would be a positive offensive
Barely,
metric.
maybe. But anyway, back to Hopkins. Great player. I love it. I can't. I just imagine if he had an actual good quarterback. Which Houston better draft one, because my God, if you're having a revolving door of quarterbacks, yes, you're winning games, but sooner or later you're gonna go up against an ugly division that most, if not all, the teams are great, and you're already next year. It's looking like that'll happen. You're good because next year Houston's playing the NFC South and the AFC West, which the AFC West is going to get worse.
And here's
Evil
the other
worse.
thing:
What?
is look at all the quarterbacks in their own division. They've got a young and upcoming Blake Bortles. They've got a young and upcoming Marcus Mariota, and they have Andrew Luck, who is going to be motivated to not play like garbage next year.
Yeah.
So they need something, and they need to find something.
They need to follow the trend or die. That's it.
Yep.
You have to hop in the bandwagon with whoever's available on the draft and pick them. Though from what it looks like, the only teams that really need one now are, let's see, not Washington anymore. We can safely eliminate them from that. San Francisco is going to need one. What's the other team? Saints might need one. The Ravens, no, they're fine. I think it's just them. Not surprisingly, not many teams. You might say the Browns, but I'm like, if the Browns get another quarterback, I want their GM gone. And I'm not just saying gone from the organization, gone from America. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh,
it's horrible. You have the future in your hands. Use it. Use the tool. Use the tool, damn it. Seriously. So it's really the 49ers and the Rams maybe. And and Philly. I almost forgot Philly. They need one too.
Yep.
It's just them. I think everyone else's quarterbacks are either hurt or just they need some. Oh, but yeah, I would think Dallas, but Dallas needs so much help everywhere else too. But yes, Houston, for God's sakes, if there's a quarterback on the damn thing, pick one up. Get him. I honestly just want someone good. Get Jared Goff, please. I want the gunslinger. But we'll see. Anyway, Houston is in the driver's seat now. They need to win their games, and if the Colts drop one, it's done. It's done. It's over.
It's done. Yeah, man.
They're just, oh God. I'm like I said, I did not want them to win, but it's very likely. Why should I try to protest what's likely inevitable? So fine. But I'm just hoping when they play the Chiefs, the same thing happens and Hoyer's a starting quarterback. Just that way. Bill O'Brien gets in his head. I don't care if he made the playoffs with this guy. He can't fucking do it. So yeah, anyway.
Exactly.
Anyway. It was great. But anyway, let's move on to... Actually, do you have any last thoughts about Houston? Benardrick McKinney, silent defensive rookie. Because Leonard Williams is not even doing anything.
My final thought is that Houston proved that they could win the ugly game
with the weakened Watt too.
Yeah, with a weakened Watt, they look like they can win the ugly game, and you never know what's not happening in the playoffs. You might have to win an ugly game.
Yeah,
so there you go.
The rematch. We're gonna get two big rematches at this rate: Steelers at Bengals and Chiefs at Texans. Grudge matches. AFC. Oh, the spite. The salt. The revenge. I can't wait. And anyway, let's move on to... This game has no importance whatsoever. The whole thing was garbage time, but you know what? It didn't stop the Lions. Jim Bob Cooter for president. Again. He's up there again. The Lions punished the Saints. The defense... Put after the first half, it was 21-3, right? At the half.
Yeah, it was 21-3. It was kind of a cakewalk for the Lions offense.
Despite the defense just not caring, but it didn't stop the offense from putting a touchdown for the other two quarters. Lions win 35-27. Oh, nice. And let's not forget special teams. They learned.
Thank God.
Explain what they learned, Bill. What did they do?
They actually covered stuff. God.
And they put
Oh.
Calvin Johnson on the Hail Mary squad.
Exactly. Ever, you don't you never ever go for the laterals. Again, there we go. The laterals were not a thing. Never do that ever again, Jim Caldwell.
Honestly,
See, and they won that game where they should have won the game like 3 weeks ago when the Lions got eliminated from the playoffs. Had we done what we did, you know, this weeks ago, we still would have been in the playoff contention. But no, we had to play a lateral. But I'm not salty over that.
oh, you're
But
salty over other things in Lions franchise history. But anyway,
I haven't seen a winning season since last year. But I mean,
consistently.
winning a playoff game, I haven't seen that since I was probably like 8. So
Back in my day, my days of youth.
back in my day.
So Bill, let's talk about Stafford. Great game, threw the ball good, got some good passes to Golden Tate, Eric Ebron, who woke up. Saying that a lot, I've noticed. Eric Ebron played great. He's showing himself at long last out of hiding. Megatron only got one catch apparently, but it was enough to get him over 1,000 yards.
Yep. I mean, here's the thing about the Lions, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, what's the matter with Kelvin Johnson?" You know what's the matter with Kelvin Johnson is that they have a spread even offense without Kelvin Johnson. I would rather have Kelvin Johnson at 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns than him having 2,000 yards and 20. And here's the reason why, is that I know that Golden Tate is catching the football. I know that Lance Moore is catching the football. I know Eric Ebron's catching the football. Now, what's the difference in that and that's the other 800 yards and touchdowns that Calvin's not getting. And that means that, Calvin's more a complementary piece on a very dynamic offense, whereas he's not a singular piece on a rudimentary offense.
Yeah, and of course and it's surprising. I'll give the Saints defense one bit of credit. You only held on to one catch.
I mean,
But I mean, at the cost of that, you let other players like Ebron walk all over you. But hey, you can't win them all.
The Saints defense didn't come to play really too much.
What did I say
really,
earlier? 31st ranked defense.
Yeah, it's just not good.
Oh, it brings joy to me. I don't like the Saints.
I mean, Stafford went 18 of like 21 passing. I mean, he only had 3 incompletions the entire game.
Yeah.
He had as many touchdowns as incompletions.
This is the offense you want. Though, granted, it's amazing how, despite early on, they had turnovers up the ass. I'm talking fumbles, and they still won. Same with Houston. They had fumbles, and they won nice. Well, the Lions, I mean. Texans played ugly, of course. But, so, honestly, don't you agree, this is the offense you need. You just need a Jim Bob Cooter for defense.
Yeah, and well, to be honest, Terrell Austin is doing a good job with the defense. It's just that the defense at the end of the game went to sleep. They thought that they had a lead and that it was safe. It was 28-3 in the third quarter, and then they went to sleep. Like the Lions always do. They don't step on Drew Brees and the Saints' necks. They let up on the gas. They allowed the Saints to actually get some touchdowns, and they didn't step on the Saints' neck. If you want to win consistent playoffs and win Super Bowls, you have to have that killer instinct. You have to put your foot on their neck and step on it. You cannot give any team any life, any time. Period. And obviously, that's what I want to see from the Lions moving forward. Even though I'm probably sure that Jim Caldwell is not going to get fired. Guess who was in the stands in New Orleans watching the game? The owner of the Lions, Martha
Of
Ford.
course, she's like, do your
After
fucking job or you're gone.
and seemingly every time that she appears, the Lions play well
Honestly,
for
she
some
should not appear
reason.
on every game. Appear the very crucial ones like that matter, like a division game. Because if she shows up every game, they'll just get used to her being there. You know,
See,
it's like a health inspector
she
coming in out of nowhere to investigate. If you come every day, you're just gonna get used to it.
Yep. She appears. The Lions, they're like, oh shit, our jobs are in trouble. We should play well, and they went out and played well. Now all they need to do is get the GM, get the right pieces
Draft
at the right
draft a
spots.
good corner.
Offensive line and corner are the biggest needs for the team. Obviously, tight end is also a need because
When
Brandon
Ebron's
Pettit.
getting better, I think you can get away with it another year.
I would rather drop Ebron and pick someone off the off free agency. I like Ebron, but he's overrated, and I just feel
I
like
think he's just finally
he's
getting
he's
better. It's like,
he's
remember when he was hurt for all like a lot of the season last year?
yeah.
It's like how Clowney. What have they been saying about Clowney? What have I also been saying about Clowney? Bill O'Brien's always said the more snaps he plays, the better he gets. And what has Clowney been doing? Getting better as he kept playing more and more games. The same.
Yeah,
I
but
would apply the same to Ebron.
here's the issue though is that Ebron was picked number 10 overall, ahead of a lot of really talented defensive players,
Hey, so was
which
Clowney
we
was the
could have.
first pick.
Yeah, but Clowney has crazy natural ability. Eric Ebron was a late first round pick, early second round pick that we picked number 10 for no reason. The thing is that we could have picked a lot of good pros,
Like
and
Honey Badger.
Ebron hasn't turned into a great pro yet. And there's a lot of great pros that already are showing themselves from that draft. He's not showing himself to be a great. He's showing himself to be a decent pro, but at my tight end position, you have to be a mixture of Gronkowski. You want to have a Gronkowski like player at that position,
I think he's
not a
faster than
player
Gronk.
that not a player that can't block on the run and can't block on the
Are
pass.
there any fast tight
So
ends?
really, are there fast tight ends?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah, I
that.
think he's faster than most. Because
Yeah.
Gronk is not that fast unless he has enough space and has the ball already. Because he doesn't run that fast when he's trying to get in position. I've noticed.
The thing is that Ebron cannot block, pass, or run, and that's what Gronkowski can do. Is he can block
Graham can't
really well.
block either.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham can't block, and really look at what happened to Russell Wilson. He was getting killed.
Kept trying to get see if he can get it, but it was actually better that he's not there. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I don't know. I'm glad Golden Tate is getting more touchdowns because he
Yep.
was my favorite player last year. Though this year it's obviously Hopkins on offense. Hopkins
Oh yeah,
is my Kawhi Leonard of football.
nice. But that's about all I have to say about my Lions. Except NFL. Can we get rid of Peter Morelli anytime soon?
What happened now?
No, he just officiated our game. Don't have that
Hey,
joke of a
at
referee.
least he couldn't fucking do it in his power to let the Saints come back. He couldn't do it even if he wanted. He could not have enough
just-
excuses to flag them.
I just I just don't want that joke of a referee refereeing any of our games
I want
next
him
year.
to referee.
Give
I want him to ref a Packers game, namely the
why
final
can't
one, and then the Packers get fucked out of it. Actually, no, he would
I
he would
mean
pander to them.
I mean the replacement refs that screwed up the game against the Green Bay and Seattle game. At least they actually did their job and screwed up the game. You know, they did a good job. I mean, Peter Morelli is a joke. But there's my weekly rant about Peter Morelli officiating Lions games. Give him to the San Francisco 49ers, or how about better, the
Hey,
some
don't say the Titans.
useless
Not this week. Maybe the final week, but not
some
this week.
useless team. Some useless team. Give them to the freaking Saints Jaguars game. Get them
Ah.
out of here. Go.
Oh, that's good. But anyway, so what do we start with this week? I know to talk about Case Keenum, my boy, fucking lit it up against the Buccaneers. It pleased me greatly to see that. And there are still people who doubt him. The gunslinger, the guy who made history, Bill, most yards in college football history, and he's called a dud still. Todd Gurley makes him better. Todd Gurley's the player that makes everyone around him better. You don't get that often in non-quarterback players on offense. You don't see that very often.
And it's a disservice because really, if you think about it, Case Keenum, without Case Keenum, look at who they have at quarterback. Nick Foles. And look at how good he did for those St. Louis Rams.
Would have gone
The
6-10
would,
at best.
I'm saying right now, I'm saying it right here. If Case Keenum was starting every game for the Rams this year, they would have made the playoffs and beat the Seattle Seahawks out of the playoffs. I'm saying it right now. If Case Keenum is going to light up the Seahawks defense this week.
Oh, I would love for that to happen. I don't know. It's just I'm
But
just like,
you'll-
can they
you'll
keep
get-
up offensively with the other side? Because the Seahawks offense has been doing the work. They kind of converted into like a wannabe Pittsburgh Steelers, just putting up points. But now their test, actually they had their test. Well, it was against the Browns, but now they have another test against a better defense without Thomas Rawle or Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
So that's their biggest test against the Rams, but also against the Cardinals, which the Cardinals would probably be resting their starters, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think anyone's gonna rest their starters until week 17.
That's what I'm saying. The Cardinals host the Seahawks because I bet that's what they were hoping for. They were hoping, like NBC was hoping for Cardinals Seahawks as their game, but it didn't happen. Would have loved it, to be honest. I would have loved for the Cardinals to humiliate the Seahawks twice on national television. Ha! Just spank them, get rid of them. The Cardinal bathes in the blood of his enemies. But speaking of the
man.
Cardinals, they did punish their enemies, the other bird. They beat another bird. They beat the eagle, just like I thought. It was amazing, and it was humiliating. And did you see David Johnson's run, Bill? It's
No, I did not.
Go find it. I will link it to you after. Like, pretty much the whole defensive line tried to tackle David Johnson. He went underneath them all, of course, touched and all that, and tried to be pulled down. Shrugged them all off. Shrugged off the Eagles' secondary and got a 40-yard touchdown.
Damn.
That's a run of the year candidate right there. That.
And we both predicted that game correctly as a blowout beatdown.
Yeah, Sam Bradford 2 picks puts a smile on my face. Which I don't like the Eagles. I don't like any NFC's team, though. Washington, I can't believe it's very likely we're gonna see Jay Gruden in the playoffs. It's fine. It's fine. Seattle or Minnesota will punish them. They will not win their first game.
Well, like I said last week, any NFC East team that goes to the playoffs is going to lose in the first round.
Yeah, but I would have rather had the Giants get in, but it doesn't look that way now.
I mean,
speaking of the
you
Giants,
never know what's going to happen.
Speaking of the Giants, Phil, Odell Beckham suspended for one game. but he's already appealed. It'll probably get overthrown for two reasons. One, he's Odell Beckham, the NFL's the NFL's Jesus right now, their messiah to save their ratings. And also, I'm pretty sure Sunday Night Football on NBC is going to lobby for them. They're going to lobby. It's like, come on, guys. We need to talk about the catch that he made last year. You know, we got to show that thing like 5 times in replays. And then we need Al and Chris to talk about it 10 times. Like, more than Deflategate. Because it's our moment.
Man.
It was our shining moment in our whole 10 years. You'll never get it again. That's they're seriously going to be begging like that, Bill.
Please! We need to talk catches!
We need to talk about the one-handed catch. Just whatever. Shut up about it. It annoyed me. But the Panthers, absolutely no way they can drop a game. They are not dropping a game. They are going perfect. To be fair, they did let the Giants hang. Same situation with the Lions, but a little worse because the Panthers are a perfect team right now. Just, no, you can't do it. But anyway,
The Panthers, man.
I have two last things. One, this is very short. Ravens? What the hell were you wearing? The mustard pants? Was that supposed to be the beak? It's like the yellow outline on the bird. No, never wear that again. Never wear that again. I already saw ketchup versus mustard. That was the Buccaneers and the Rams playing.
Yeah. The battle of condiments.
Yeah, and mustard won, which makes me... I mean, I prefer ketchup, but it was... I mean, Case Keenum was on Team Mustard, so it's fine. Actually, that would be a good Splatfest idea. Get on that, Nintendo.
Team Mustard versus Team
I'm
Ketchup.
Team Ketchup all the way.
Versus Team Mayonnaise.
I don't like mayonnaise. Well,
I'm not a big mayonnaise person.
did you know people in the UK like mayonnaise on stuff? Not just UK, Europe in general. They like it on their fries. Ugh. Sounds gross to me.
But yeah.
Anyway, the last thing... I shame the NFL gods. They curse us this year, robbing us of great players like Arian Foster, Tony Romo, what's some other players? I lost them all. Oh, Edelman, of course, for now, but he's coming back. Jordy Nelson, Le'Veon Bell. The Bugs struck again this week, and it took out Honey Badger.
Ooh.
He tore his ACL, and that's because he played another great game against the Eagles. Got an interception. I'll be honest, the Cardinals' defense just lost 10% of its strength. He mattered so
the
much.
Honey Badger is a beast.
Honestly, with Watt going down with his broken arm, I'm like, it's fine. He's not gonna get the MVP now. I was gonna go Honey Badger, but now J.J. Watt's gonna get the award. Not from me, but from the NFL. I shame the NFL gods. I spite them for this year. Just well, this is going to be Charles Woodson's last year. I wanted him to play till we all had kids, and they tell the tale of Charles Woodson. And he's like, that guy's super old. He's been playing since I was young.
Charles Woodson, what a great player, and of course a University of Michigan guy.
Yep. Hey, maybe Houston will draft a University of Michigan guy this year. Maybe.
I actually got the joy of watching Charles Woodson play when I was a teenager. So when he played for the University of Michigan, I got to watch him every week, and it was pretty amazing. He won the freaking Heisman, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. You always hear like a running back or a quarterback winning that thing. Wonder when the last time a defensive player won it.
Charles Woodson.
Seriously? Not even Clowney got it?
Not even Clowney.
Wow. That's sad. God damn, this really is an offense-oriented league. Oh, well. Whatever. All right, Bill. Any other games to note? I think it was Pittsburgh won. That number one offense. It's the number one offense now. Can we just say it?
And here's my note, and it's the only note I want to say. Brock Osweiler is the most overrated quarterback in the history of the NFL. Guess what? 4-4, and he's going 4-6.
I really want. I want the Bengals to win, but I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, it's better that the Bengals win. They get the week off. They get Andy Dalton, so we can really, if they lose the playoffs, if he can't even play for them, it's not even their fault. And you can't excuse too much injuries like that. But
Right.
seriously, I petition for the Steelers to be the number one offense. You punish a number one defense like that. Come on, you gotta go higher
Yep.
up in the list. If they weren't then, they were now. They are now. But anyway, all right, Bill, are you ready for the picks?
Ready for the picks? I
All right,
am.
start us off with Thursday Night Football.
The Thursday night game is the San Diego Chargers at the Oakland Raiders.
The final home game for the Raiders of the season. I am not saying they're going. I don't believe it. I want them staying, and the black hole will consume one more time and end the Chargers, despite having a nice last game at home, because they will move. The Raiders and Amari Cooper will win this game comfortably.
And I'm going to go the opposite on both the areas. Well, not on both areas, on one area. The Oakland Raiders, this is their last game in Oakland, and they are going to win against the San Diego Chargers as a nice going away
Now the
present.
Chargers had theirs.
So here we go. The Saturday game. The Washington football team at the Philadelphia
Kirk Cousins, you
Eagles.
like that. You like that. Say it to Sam Bradford, and Deshaun Jackson will get another taunting touchdown against the Eagles. And I really hope he does something in front of Chip Kelly. Oh, God. Just don't even shake his hand. Just don't even look at him. Just shame him but look at him when you do win the game. And say, you like that. Redskins,
Oh
oh,
man.
sorry, Washington football team will win the game and clinch the division. Well, they
I
won't win just this win. They still need help.
Yeah. I also have the Washington football team in a blowout destroying the Philadelphia Eagles 44-10.
Huh. Oh, God.
Next
So
up,
you mean to tell me they're going to start RG3 at the end of the game?
RG3 will be playing at the end of the game and he will have a touchdown pass and some teams gonna be stupid enough to claim him at
You
the
know
end of
what's
the
sad?
season.
Dallas and Houston are among those two teams that want him.
And he's
I will
not
shame
going to
you,
be good.
Houston. Don't do it. Don't you tell me. Oh, we can get it with RG3 as our backup. No, draft one. Draft a QB. Damn it. All right, Bill. Let's move on to the
All right.
Sunday night games or Sunday afternoon.
Okay, it is the San Francisco 49ers at the Detroit
Jim Bob
Lions.
Cooter's reign does not end today. The Lions will win comfortably as well. I expect Calvin Johnson to get a touchdown and Amir Abdullah too.
The Detroit Lions will destroy the San Francisco 49ers, and Jim Tomsula's mustache will fall off.
Good. Oh, poor guy.
Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore
Oh
Ravens.
God. Honestly, Baltimore should not even show up at all. I have the Steelers dropping a 50 burger on them. Get it? Because Ben Roethlisberger. 51 points
Yep.
and Landry Jones will come back into the game. We're gonna have a lot of blowouts this week, I'm guessing.
Here comes another bloodbath, but a bloodbath of Ravens falling out of the sky. The Steelers will crush the Ravens.
Oh, of course they will.
Next up, the Dallas Cowboys at the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I expect Buffalo to be playing for Rex Ryan because the season's done for them, but they still want to win and at least go 9-7. I think they can still go that far. I have the Buffalo Bills punishing the Cowboys for existing.
I also have the Buffalo Bills winning. I just see Tyrod Taylor being an issue for the defense. Next up, the Chicago Bears at the Tampa Bay
I don't
Buccaneers.
think Alshon Jeffrey will play. He's their crucial piece on that offense now. And with him gone, you saw how dead in the water the Bears were. They throw the ball
Yep.
to him like Brian Hoyer and every other quarterback for Houston throws it to Hopkins. Without him, there is no win. I have the Buccaneers winning this game.
I also have the Buccaneers defeating the Bears. They're not good.
Of course they're not.
Next up, next up, the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta did not bad, but remember they played a shit Jacksonville defense, so I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll upset the Panthers. Panthers go 15-0.
I also got the Panthers. They will blow out the Falcons. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts at the Miami Dolphins.
The Colts will lose this game, and Houston will clinch a playoff spot. They will clinch the AFC South. I have the Dolphins winning with Ndamukong Suh knocking out Matt Hasselbeck for good in the most dirty way possible, and he'll get a suspension most likely. I'm not wishing injury on him, though. Let's make ironic, contradicting, whatever. You get my point.
I also have the Dolphins winning, but in a close, ugly game.
Oh, just a
Next.
perfect way to bury the Colts. Give them false hope. In fact, with this, I'll make this also clear. With this week, they're just going to put Andrew Luck on injured reserve, so they don't have to risk him getting hurt.
Yep. Next up, the New England Patriots at the New York Jets.
I have the Patriots. Okay. Before they drop those games to the Broncos and what's the other team they lost? Oh, the Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. I actually had the Patriots losing. They were going to be undefeated till this point and lose to the Jets, but I think the Patriots will win. There's Gronk, so there's hope.
I also got the Patriots winning. If you got Gronk, you can. I can't pick against the Patriots.
I think with this, though, Bill, they will clinch the first round bye.
Indeed. All right. So next up, the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, it's clear as day, especially if Zach Brenberger starts. The Texans will punish the Titans as well for existing. It's going to be a scorcher, and I expect 2 touchdowns to Hopkins.
I expect DeAndre Hopkins to go off. I expect the Houston Texans to defeat the Titans.
Clinch the AFC South.
Yep. Next up, the Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh boy, poor Manziel. They started you too late because Pettin wants an excuse not to let you play anymore. The Chiefs will win this comfortably, I might add. We're having a lot of blowouts, I've noticed.
Here comes another blowout. The Chiefs are going to blow out the Cleveland Browns in a really bad way.
Oh God. No, poor Manziel.
Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints.
I have the Nolan Saints taking this one and just pretty much gift wrapping the Texans the AFC South.
And I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars blowing out the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, we have a different. Do you have a different pick this time?
With a 48-24 game.
This is the battle of ugly defenses. I would not be surprised if this is a shootout. It very well could be.
Very possible.
I like it. No complaints here, but I have the Saints still winning.
And here we go. The Green Bay Packers at the Arizona
Cardinals.
I
hope I can watch this one. I really want to see this. And I have the Cardinals knocking out the Packers. And it's going to be beautiful.
I got the Cardinals crushing the Packers.
I
They are
want
going
to
to
see
crush
I
them.
want to see Aaron Rodgers throw a pick six, and it would have happened more likely to happen with Honey Badger, but now it feels fleeting. I would have to hope Patrick Peterson does it for me. Please do it.
Here we go.
All right.
Here we go. This is the game. St. Louis Rams at CL Seahawks.
Oh, how this game would have mattered if the Rams won the games they shouldn't have dropped. But I have the Seahawks winning. I can't see them stopping Russell Wilson now.
I also have the Seahawks winning a 42-35 game with Case Keenum throwing 5 touchdown passes.
Are you insane? I hope so. I hope so, but I really want Case Keenum to keep the job.
Next up, the Sunday night football game. The New York Giants at the Minnesota
At the time of this
Vikings.
recording, you don't know if Odell Beckham is still suspended. I hope he doesn't come back for this week. I want him out. No more talking about the damn catch. But the Vikings will win regardless.
The Vikings will win easily regardless as well. They have a good defense, and they'll hold Odell even if he does play silent. And then the Monday night game. The Cincinnati Bengals go to Denver and take on the Broncos.
Anyone like this, Bill? I have the Broncos winning, but hear me out. I told you earlier, if the Broncos lose all their games, the Chiefs will clinch the division and the Steelers will go to Houston. I cannot allow that. I cannot. I have the Broncos winning an ugly game in overtime. And it's not thanks to Brock Osweiler. Most of those points are scored off of turnovers. So I have the Broncos winning.
A.J. McCarron outduels Brock Osweiler, who will throw interceptions to the Bengals defense, which will clinch the game for the Bengals, which brings up the fact that he will be 4-5 when it's week 17 and they go 10-5. I have the Bengals winning.
Oh no, I don't like this.
And then the following Thursday, just in case.
No, there is no Thursday game actually.
There is no Thursday game. Okay, even better.
It's week 17.
Damn.
All games are on Sunday. All of them are division games. That'll be crunch time. That is crunch time for us all. But
Even better.
I think that'll do. Do you have anything else to say, Bill? I am really looking forward to the playoffs, and they're really close. The turn of the year. I'm like, oh, I'm not just looking forward to 2016. I'm also looking forward to that Super Bowl 50.
Oh
But
man.
anyway, I think.
But no. I don't have anything else to say.
All right then. We'll see you guys in the final week. Week 17. It's gonna be fun. We'll see you then.